It's Easter Sunday in a Christian Maronite church in Mount Lebanon. The Lebanese general elections are just 7 weeks away. And the star worshipper here at the Marabda Church is the former president and head of the Falange Party, Gemayels. Lebanon's Maronites make up the largest Christian community in the country. And for generations, this influence has extended to the political arena. For here, religion, politics, and family are inextricably linked, especially among the Maronites. In a country so close to the Holy Land, it is the only one in the region to be ruled by a Christian president and to have a large Christian population. And they continue to vigorously defend this privileged position. The Christians have influenced and shaped the culture and history of Lebanon, and their fears of marginalization were a key factor in the events that led to a civil war which lasted for 15 years. Gemayels' life reflects the turbulent modern history of Lebanon. Father to a murdered son, brother to a murdered president, son to a pillar of Lebanese public life. After years of exclusion and exile, Amin is back in the thick of Lebanese politics, carrying on what he knows best, the family business.
هذا البيت شيد سنة 1545.
The first part of this house was built in 1545. You can see that from the color of the stones. New sections were added during different periods of time. A person can distinguish between the eras that the house was built in according to the color of the stones and the architectural designs. At the end, you have heritage that you try to keep. It's a national, human, and moral, ideological heritage. This is what we try to keep in the family.
Between Pierre the grandfather and Pierre his grandson is the story of one of Lebanon's oldest traditions, the political dynasty. The hereditary system is part of the DNA of Lebanese politics. Pierre the grandfather was the godfather of the Gemayel dynasty, a controversial politician who survived several assassination attempts. But some of his descendants were less fortunate. His son Bashir was assassinated in 1982. And his grandson Pierre in 2006. Several other family members have also been murdered. Yet despite paying such a heavy price, the Gemayel family continues to pursue the family business founded more than 70 years ago. The Falange Party was formed in 1936 as a Maronite paramilitary youth movement. Its founder, Pierre Gemayels, modelled it on the National Socialist organisations that he'd observed while in Berlin as an Olympic athlete. The term phalange is derived from the Greek for battalion. Its guiding principles: order, faith, and the centralised power of the leader.
كانت كلها لبنان كان بوسط
Lebanon was in the middle of this great conflict of trends and ideologies, just like the whole world was in the 40s and 50s. So the Falange Party was launched in the middle of these clashes. The founding team wanted Lebanon to be away from those conflicts, and so it coined the slogan, Lebanon First. And it called for the establishment of a tolerant Lebanese nationalism that is at peace with its surroundings.
وطرح القومية اللبنانية المنفتحة.
Consistent with its authoritarian beginnings, Falangist ideology has been on the right of the political spectrum. Although it has embraced the need to modernise in recent times, it's always favoured the preservation of the sectarian status quo, and it emphasises a free economy and private initiative. Party policies have been uniformly anti-communist and anti-Palestinian and have allowed no place for pan-Arab ideals. Joseph Abu Khalil was a close companion of Falange's founder, Pierre Gemayels. Now 83, he's been an active Falangist since he was 16. For 40 years, he's been editing its newspaper. For him, country and party are one and the same.
تأسيس الكيان اللبناني الدولة اللبنانية.
Lebanon was established back in the 1920s as a Christian project, stemming out from a Christian political ideology.
فنشأت الكتائب على هذه الفكرة.
The Falange Party was based on that. It is a defending force for this idea
كتنظيم مدافع عن الفكرة وسند
and a support to the legitimate state that embodies such an idea.
التي تجسد هذه الفكرة.
It is this umbilical relationship between Christian Maronites and their vision of what Lebanon represents that worries one of the former leaders of the Falange Party.
يعني الموارنة يعتبرون أنهم هم بناة لبنان.
The Maronite involvement in politics goes back to the establishment of Lebanon. They regard themselves as the founders of Lebanon, and that Lebanon was established because of them. They can only see Lebanon through their religious affiliation.
And he's very candid about what the party meant for him and why he decided to leave it all behind for the good of the nation.
بدأت طائفيا مما لا شك فيه. أنا دخلت على الكتائب.
There is no doubt that my first instinct was sectarian.
ولكن بالممارسة اكتشفت.
I entered the Falange Party because I was afraid for my sect, for the Christians. But when I got into politics, I saw the other, the Muslim, and I realized he also has his ideas. And then I realized I have to expand my horizon. So after leaving university, I discovered that it's not enough to go from sectarianism to communal living, but we have to explore the wider sphere of pan-Arabism and the region.
يجب الخروج إلى الأفق الأوسع اللي هو العروبة والجوار.
For some, these conflicting Lebanese identities and the resulting communal divisions are the products not so much of geography as of the way the country was arbitrarily carved up by France between 1920 and 1943 to benefit Maronite Christians, while at the same time limiting Muslim influence.
لبنان يعني ككيان سياسي.
Lebanon as a political entity was never a single geographical unit.
والذي حدث أنه
What happened is that the French added the coastal areas to the mountain. giving Mount Lebanon for the first time the coastal areas from Tripoli to Tyre, and then added 4 more regions to it in the south, east and north.
And constant foreign intervention, both by local Arab forces and that of Western armies, has only helped to derail the development of Lebanon's political system. But with a population divided between Sunni, Shia, Christianity and Druze, unity remains as elusive as ever. And the leader of Lebanon's most powerful Druze clan, himself heir to a leftist political dynasty, is pessimistic about progress. Standing before a portrait of his slain father, Walid Jumblat sees Lebanese society reverting to its ancestral components.
The identity issue, it will never be solved. Never. No, we have not reached the question of fixing up a Lebanese identity away from confessions and community and religion. No, no, we have not. This took the West, the secular West, which is, let's say, France or England or other countries. It took them centuries and so many wars. In the Middle East, we are just on the start. In Lebanon, we are going backwards to the archaic tribal society.